Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you a really cool, interesting gift. If you like science, you'll definitely like this. So let's get straight into it. So first of all, you need to download the app on your phone, tablet or any other device. And you can download it by the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. So I've changed into the shirt and let's get right into it. Okay, so here you can see all of the organs in the human body. So you have the skeletal, the respiratory, the circulatory, the digestive, and the urinary. So let's click on the skeletal.
The skeletal system. Water can make up to 60% of your body, meaning that most of your body is quite squishy and floppy. So, how is it that you can stand up straight without flopping over? It's because you are supported by bones, which are actually organs. Bones are made up of strings of a protein called collagen, which also makes up your teeth and hair, and lots of minerals like calcium to support and protect your body. Bones support your body throughout your life, and they actually adapt to change over time depending on where you.
So here we have all of the organs in the human body, and they are made into different sections. So skeletal, respiratory, circulatory, digestive, and urinary. So let's click on skeletal.
The skeletal system. Water can make up to 60% of your body, meaning that most of your body is quite squishy and floppy. So, how is it that you can stand up straight without flopping over? It's because you are supported by bones, which are actually organs. Bones are made up of strings of a protein called collagen, which also makes up your teeth and hair, and lots of minerals like calcium to support and protect your body. Bones support your body throughout your life, and they actually adapt to change over time depending on where you are and what you do. For example, in space there is zero gravity, so astronauts don't need heavy, strong bones and often come back to Earth with lighter skeletons. The opposite is true for professional athletes who need really hard bones to survive all that exercise, so often have heavier, stronger bones than most people. The middle of your bones are actually very soft and spongy. This is called marrow. Marrow actually produces your red and white blood cells. Red blood cells carry all your oxygen around your body, and white blood cells are your defenders, killing bacteria and viruses which might make you sick.
So if we go back, we can see the respiratory system.
The respiratory system. We breathe in and out up to 26,000 times a day. But why do we really do this? Well, breathing is hugely important and provides the body with oxygen. But why is oxygen important? Well, it is required for your body to convert sugars from the food we eat into energy that our muscles and cells can use to function. Without oxygen, our muscles can't use that energy and we wouldn't be able to move. Even our hard working heart would stop beating. Don't worry, just take a deep breath and you'll be fine. Oxygen enters your body through your mouth and nose before flowing down your windpipe and into your bronchi. Two large pipes that split from your windpipe, one into each lung. Your lungs, the most important organ in your respiratory system, are made up of thousands of tiny individual sacs of air called alveoli. The lungs can't do all the work needed to breathe, but so you have a lot of muscles that help them, most significant of which is your diaphragm, a big muscle that spreads across the entire base of your lungs. This contracts and relaxes so your lungs have more space to expand when you inhale, and it helps push the air out when you exhale. Sometimes the diaphragm contracts involuntarily. This is what makes you hiccup. Another important muscle group is made up of the muscles on the back of your shoulders. So there is more space for the lungs to fill with oxygen. That means if you are ever out of breath from running really fast, putting your hand on your hips will mean you catch your breath quicker.
So now let's take a 360 view. Here is the lungs.
We are now inside an alveolus, one of the million tiny sacs in your lungs that stretches bigger when you breathe in and shrinks back when you breathe out, just like a balloon. This is where the oxygen enters the blood and carbon dioxide leaves it. You can see a web of blood vessels covering the outside of the alveolus so that gases can pass freely and easily between the two. The blood vessels whisk away the oxygenated blood before the oxygen has time to pass back to the alveoli. The carbon dioxide rich air is then exhaled and removed from your body as you breathe out.
So remember, carbon dioxide is a waste product for a human body. So now if we go back. Now let's look at our circulatory system.
The circulatory system. When your organs are hard at work, they need supplies to keep them going, such as nutrients, sugars, hormones, and, of course, oxygen. The blood delivers these around your body. That beating heart is constantly pumping your blood along over 60,000 miles of blood vessels. Blood flows away from the heart through arteries, which branch and narrow into arterioles, and then branch further into capillaries, where inside the organs, nutrients and waste are exchanged. Let's take a look inside your heart. It is made up of two separate halves. Your right half receives blood that has had its oxygen used up by the muscles and organs of your body. This deoxygenated blood is then pumped into the lungs. The blood then collects a fresh supply of oxygen and then travels back to the left side of the heart, which pushes it all the way around the body. Each half of your heart is separated into two chambers. The top chambers are called the atria, and the lower chambers are the ventricles. As blood enters the atria, valves stop it from flowing backwards or down into the ventricles until the time is right. The valves opening and closing are the beats you can hear. The muscular walls of the ventricles then contract, which pushes the blood up and out of the heart and back into the body. Your heart is always hard at work, even when you're resting. Today, it will beat over 100,000 times.
So if we get a closer look, we can see the chambers of the heart. Remember, the heart has 4 chambers: left and right atrium and left and right ventricle. So now let's take a 360-degree view.
Here we are inside a blood vessel. You can see that although blood is a fluid, it is also made up of a lot of cells, each one with a specific role. Here we can see the two main cells. The red disc-shaped ones are called red blood cells. They deliver oxygen. The white cells are, surprise, surprise, called white blood cells. These are the security guards of the body and seek out and destroy infectious disease and foreign invaders. The fluid that carries all these cells is known as plasma. The plasma delivers nutrients but also carries away the waste, such as carbon dioxide, produced by the work of your tissue and organs. This needs to be taken to the lungs and breathed out.
So remember that the white red blood cells are a prokaryotic cell. So if we go back and look at the digestive system.
The digestive system. Your body needs a lot of energy to work properly, as well as vitamins, minerals, and fats, which all have individual special roles. But how do you get those from your food? The first stop for the swallowed food is the esophagus, a tube which pushes the food from the back of your mouth and all the way down to your stomach. The stomach is a muscular sac full of proteins called enzymes that start breaking down your food into smaller pieces. It also contains acids, which activates the enzymes and help break down your food. The acid also kills any bacteria to stop you from getting sick, and when your stomach is empty, the muscles in its walls contract. This slooshes all the acid around, which makes a very peculiar noise, which you will know as tummy rumbling. Food then moves into the duodenum, where bile produced by your liver and stored by your gallbladder is released and mixed with semi-digested food. Bile helps to break down fats so that they can be absorbed. Further digestive juices and enzymes from the pancreas are also mixed in here. This cocktail of digestive ingredients and broken down food now travels a long route through the small intestines where it is broken down even more. The walls of the small intestine absorbs the nutrients and pass them onto the blood to be carried away. The digestive system is also full of bacteria, some of which help break down the food. As they do this, they release gas, which is one of the reasons you fart. Who knew that bacteria could provide so much entertainment? Oops. All of
So,
your food has now been fully broken down, and most of it is absorbed into your blood. It's now the large intestine's job to absorb all of the water from whatever remains to make sure we aren't wasting anything from the food. Anything we can't use, we force together into one big lump and push it out of the body. This is when you poop. Your liver is also part of your digestive system as it filters out of your blood any of the toxic things that you may have eaten. It also takes care of the nutrients absorbed by the small intestine, using them as ingredients to build up into bigger, more complex substances that your body needs.
if we zoom, you see you have the pancreas, which secretes glucagon and insulin for high blood concentration or glucose concentration. So now let's take a 360 view.
Here we are inside your small intestine. This is where the majority of your food is broken down and absorbed into your blood. Those wavy tentacle-like things you see, they're called villi, and they are really important because they create a huge surface along the wall of the small intestine. This means there is lots more surface for the food to be absorbed and passed into the blood vessels, which are branched like a whip into the villi and walls of the intestine. You will also have noticed this tunnel suddenly shrinking and expanding. Well, this is due to something called peristalsis. Like a Mexican wave, this action is caused by muscles in the walls contracting and relaxing in waves. This pushes the food along the intestines, just like squeezing toothpaste out of its tube.
So remember, this just shows the peristalsis happening in our body. This helps the food travel further down into the esophagus. So if we go back, finally we have the urinary system.
The renal system. Everybody needs to pee throughout the day, but have you ever wondered why? Well, while your body is hard at work every day, it produces waste byproducts which are toxic and harmful if left to build up. The blood carries these toxins to the kidneys to be filtered out.
Such
The
as urea.
kidneys also filter out things we have too much of, like when we've eaten too much salt or sugar. All of this is then mixed with water, and run down tubes called ureters into the bladder where it is stored until it's full. Nerves in your bladder send a signal to your brain telling you to go to the toilet. Once on the loo, your muscles relax so the bladder empties through your urethra and the liquid leaves your body as pee. Although we have two kidneys, you only actually need one. But if both of your kidneys stop working, then it's possible for someone else to give you one of theirs. Both of you living completely healthy lives with one each. Plus, around 1 in every 750 people are born with only one kidney. Most never actually know this for their entire lives. Can you see those little bobble hats sitting on the top of the kidney as well? They are called your adrenal glands, and their job is to make adrenaline.
The hormone.
Adrenaline is the messenger that makes your heart beat faster and makes you want to move when you're excited or nervous.
So that was all for the urinary system, and I hope you enjoyed the Virtuali-tee, and definitely worth buying, and definitely worth kind of having fun with your friends. Thank you. Bye.